Okay, so I'm looking for investors in part of this overall thing, but really an investor can invest in a square. So you can see there I'd say these tiles now, it's just they'll all be numbered. So each of those, for instance, the tile. So you'd be buying an investment in one tile or whatever square metre that is. And when you think about it, you just go, well, okay, mate, if there's 100,000 square metres, right, hang it steady on, come up here. If there's 100 square metres, in this place, then that's one way of dividing it up and going, we want investors for, it's $1,500 a square metre on average to get built. $1,500 a square metre, so you'd want $3,000 a square metre up front. So yes, it's a capital raising, and we want to do it as an unregistered security, right? Why do we want to do this? Because we want to find out just what the SEC, right? And we'll go, oh, okay, so if we do this as an unregistered security, is it? And what do we just keep sending emails to the SEC going, oh, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this is this allowed? Is this allowed? Pressing them for answers on, and what are they doing? Oh, start me on it. Look, this is a zero tax. This is this is an approved investment from the tax office that allows it to be included in, it gets a certain favourable treatment. What used to be called private binding rulings, I don't know if they're still available, but when Carl Modi was around as tax commissioner, I think, just to drop names and make myself look like I've actually read something, but that was ages ago, so things have changed. So investors are sought. We want 100 investors for $3,100, that's $300,000 we want, okay? And that's to procure house and land. Now the house itself is going to be, in inverted commas, part of a broader social program to bring about and facilitate changes so that there's infrastructure required. So each, and now for each, and this is then a model. This is why it's going to be easy for the government to green light it, because Morrison, when he was Minister for Social Welfare, or whatever it was called, Centrelink, effectively, there was, and I wonder, and I call the good minister to, refer it on or do whatever, but may I have an answer as to some of the programs under that social benefit dividend scenario. I think that if the idea was if private sector could approach government and say, look, Centrelink are delivering these services, we can deliver them to recipients. We've got 100 recipients that are in the same bucket. We can deliver them cheaper than, or better than Centrelink. Can we have money for that? And then, like a work for the dole or whatever, I don't know. So then that's why I'm asking, were there any successful implementations? No doubt there were, where those programs and joint ventures between private and government projects received some sort of funding, right? Funding, tax break, whatever. Because what I want to do here is set this up as a training centre. That what you're looking at there, that's the doghouse. So that would be a section of a house that's compliant with what it needs to be compliant with in order to be a compliant investment, right? And by that, as I say, among other things, largely to do with the government saying, yes, we agree there is a social dividend here for which we will provide some form of benefit. What that benefit is, I'm not too tax break, or I'm not too sure. For investors in this program, getting a real return that's in a way quasi-government backed, because the government policy, it might be, what about homeless people, for instance? What about Ruth's Women's Shelter, for example, that's struggling for funding, at risk of closing, and it's on the news, and guess what? It's, I don't think anyone really cares about, photo opportunities and gaining political capital out of the plight of the customer segment serviced by Ruth's Women's Shelter. So that's a service the government, someone has to provide that service. Who provides it? Let's get it provided and then worry about the bill later, shall we? It will be the people that will determine, and I think the people have had enough of, the kind of blame shift and rubbish back and forth, politicisation and segregating the community. You're not building community, you're destroying community, right? Anyway, enough. So just get it done. This is now your Ruth's private women's shelter. There's one couch, there's two. Clearly they're fold-out beds. Spin them around. There's a dining room. Okay, they possible to eat there. Home offices, basically whatever you're looking at there. I've got one here. Right, so this is now Ruth's Women's Shelter, is it? No, it's not. It's just as an example. This could be a safe place where a person can chill, a person can come and look at the TV, and if you're into this, whatever that guy's doing, it's just inspirational watching it. I don't have actually the lake to go and paddle my canoe in, but that's an example of social benefit. Video conferencing here, the main thing is it's secure accommodation, and the woman and the child are not feeling, they're not on the street, they're not at risk of domestic violence, they're not living in fear and living out of the back of a car with your mother at 13 years old is not a lot of fucking fun. So it's a scary ride, and a lot of insecurities occur. But they needn't, and we needn't, get the fucking Stradivariuses out. All we need really do is think about what can we do with what we've got now. I'm not actually offering that to women's shelters or anything like that. Merely saying that for mine, there are men at risk, suicide risk is very high, and the devil makes time for idle hands. So if it's possible then to obtain funding, I'd be happy with the job. And we have trainee volunteers who come into the facility, in my vision at least, not quite yet in reality, and then they avail themselves of all of the toys we have here. So we're looking for sponsorship because these toys are not cheap. Okay, they're not cheap, nor are they necessary. So we get pricing on them, and it's not essential that these things are bought, right? The part of the exercise is these things may never actually be built because they're too impractical, too expensive or whatnot. It's the design of them. It's the engagement in that creative process that I think there's a market for it, but there's a need for it. This is a man shed type setup, but what about a place where it's possible also to have the place configured so many different ways? Like we've got design studio, we've got, these were for noise insulation, I thought, these mats. We've got just all sorts of different activities going on. Okay, here we are. So there's some security there. You know, I want government to fund. I want concessions from government. I want the government to get the fuck out of the way, because if they were doing their job, right, then there wouldn't be homeless people, would there? There wouldn't be as much of a need for this. So I saw a video, and here's how would I go about it? Well, look at this here. You've got plywood at 88 a sheet, right? Structural. And then, I don't know if that's exactly the material you'd use, but let's go, what's a prism? 6-sided, did it? Yeah. 6 of those sheets. 6 8s, 6 9s are 54. And 6 2s are 12 from 54 is 2 and 42. $420 buys $420 buys 6 of those sheets, right? And 6 of those sheets forms a box, does it? Yep, a box. It forms a if you put those all together in a rectangular prism, then a 3D thing, then there's your volume, and that is your accommodation. Now your accommodation is don't worry, that's minimum. So we need sponsorship on the plywood. Now the plywood could be supplied by Bunnings. It could all be done by Bunnings. And when COVID's done, we'll have a sausage sizzle. And we're making shelters for the homeless, street shelters. And the we are actually the people who are homeless or just come out of prison or have got substance abuse problems or refugees. And this is taken a leaf straight out of a book of a YouTube video that I watched. And where was that? I'll have to go to YouTube here. I'll go into my account. Oh, right, sorry. In another video far, far away, I was doing this, but there's no network connections there, it seems. Where's me? Hit the home button. I'm not getting any vibe. What's going on? I'm not getting any... I'll do that later. Fuck. Alright, gotta go to the history. Oh yeah, this is good. Oh, yep. So, I mean...
To our field reporter, Tim, who's covering reports of an asteroid set to hit the area sometime today.
Video that I saw and that I was referring to. Alright, just got to turn the TV on. The video I was referring to earlier was about what? One organisation in America are doing great work with homeless people and also veterans from Afghanistan and everything, military, homeless, by making these shelters, giving people employment and giving people a house. Brilliant, right? So that should be fucking hands off, government, right? Don't you tax us up the arse, right? What about the income tax? Well, fucking, really? Really, government? Like, fucking... No. The government just fucking everything up. You can't keep your people safe. You're fucking hopeless. You blame each other. And you really need to fucking stop for a minute, just to fucking pause and go, oh, hang on a minute. We don't want total fucking anarchy. Start doing your fucking job. And some are doing it better than others, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, I think, just for the sake of change alone, to get old mate as Prime Minister, Barnaby Joyce, because the guy's practical, and that's what's required, is practical thinking rather than, you know, abstract milk comes out of a carton. Well, it does until COVID happens, and then, you know, toilet paper comes out of bloody someone's fucking nose. I don't know. Fucking going on again. Right, so if I went to history here, can I get there? Can I get there? I'm squinting. I need me glasses. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Where's I've got to go to my, okay, go to library. No. Back. Shit. If I go home here, down the bottom. I already am home. Good. I want to get to my library. My videos, history, there it is, top left. History, and there we are. So that's what's useful. One of the benefits of being logged in, I mean, tracked up the yin yang. So apparently I've got, my profile. I look like a pyromaniac. Now, what video was it that I watched? Well, it'll be in there somewhere about, you know, homeless shelters. I could probably search for it. Oh, yeah. There were some good toys right here.
Some traders are like hawks.
So
they can
Robot
spot an
School.
opportunity miles away and catch it.
Shut up. Robot School, for instance. So rather than making boats, be making robots, would you? Yeah. Machines and stuff. Yep. What, homeless people making robots? Well, homeless people making robots that can make tiny homes, demountable, collapsible, transportable, you know, for $1,000, right? $1,000 a box. Now the plywood alone is, that structural plywood, that's without the skeleton framing and hinges and all the rest of it. Now those panels themselves, I think there'll be an outer and an inner. I'm now designing it, aren't I? Yeah, pretty much. And you stuff that full of insulation, it's noise insulation. And from day one, I've added value because I'll use those in my shed to create my little workshop that all folds up to nothing. It's noise and it's insulated for noise and accommodation. So I can clean the joint up and have someone in it. I can fold it up and fold it down and fold it away. So, yeah, anyway, come on. So I want to set up a place that does this, right? Develops technology around that. Okay, for homeless people. No. I think there'd be one person in that group that might actually, you know, be interested in doing projects like this type that running in the background. And the role that I would play in that, quite a minimal role. It's to introduce these things and excite people in terms of design and provide opportunities, employment opportunities in design. Get them enrolled in courses in SketchUp or whatever the industry thing is. There's a lot of Python programming. There's quite a lot of courses around well, I hate this expression, but in that arena, there's quite a lot of opportunities to do degrees and earn export dollars, get off the streets and learn and go to robot school. Now you don't have to be. You don't even have to go that far from where you are, and you might be living in a hostel and we don't have access to a library, clean clothes, or I'm minging, and a little too close to the edge. So why don't we get you some sort of remote access to a really powerful computer where you can do the design. You can remotely connect to that computer that has all the software on it. Use that computer as though you were sitting at it, but you are in the comfort of one of those booths at the pub or whatever. You're in the little snug, or you're at Bewley's Cafe or Starbucks or wherever the fuck you are, and you're doing this thing on a computer that might be in another country, for example, and you're connecting to a 3D printer, and you're putting your file in, and that printer's printing your thing, and you've just got the thing on. You've trained a camera in it, because they take about 12 hours, and happy days, you're building shit, And I just love this idea. Now, can this thing do anything? Last thing I want to do is make a plastic fucking, I want to make saleable products. I'd like to make a fucking cello, actually. Might be a good project to do. Special wood. I don't know. How do I make a cello? Piss easy. Anyway, there you go. That's the end of my spiel. Where's the history of the homeless? Can I search? Okay, so I'm having trouble finding it in my history. That's okay. Oh, it's easy to get distracted, isn't it? So many cool videos. That looks familiar. That boat. Oh, and I don't have my glasses on, so. Right, so. Go away. That's just so in your face. Actually, with my workshop, it'd be great if the thing all rolled up and went onto a box trailer. Woodwork looks good, looks like a lot of fun. It's a hobby. Is it practical? No. So what's practical about this is the Python, right? So the bit that I'm interested in learning to make money, the earliest, would be the Python programming. Okay, so the Python programming, the design, the computer-aided design is one thing, but maybe there aren't any jobs in that. Maybe if it's on YouTube, every man's doing it. Well, maybe it's just one of those things. I don't know what this. I can't read my own text. I'm looking for bloody pictures of. Yeah, right. Fucking. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, okay. Now. Trying to share this photo. Right, time's on. Right, so, oh shit, in the background. So what these guys are doing in the background, there's my camera. Right, while we're here, what I want is where that's fixed there, rigid, what I want is every one of those to be driven by leather and water. Come on. I suppose you take it out, don't you? Won't be that durable. Bloody comfortable though. So those straps, right, are on, imagine they're on axles. I have to go back, right? Yeah, a little bit of come with the control for the remote. Those things there, in my chair scenario, I would have, you can tension every one of those straps is individually, you can take the tension off, let it sag in the middle, right, and you can tension it. So why would you do that? Because it's not for that boat application, it's for something else. It's for a chair, therapeutic chair, and also virtual reality experience. And those straps may be, made out of rubber latex, so they've got some bounce in them. And yeah, that's my therapy chair scenario design.